Hello, I'm Eva and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some Christmas/holiday romance recommendations, and I'm going to try to give you a brief description of each of them and a little bit of my review and how I felt about them. Let's just get started. Should I start with my least favorite ones, like my least recommended ones, and get to my most recommended? Let's do that. The Boss Who Stole Christmas by Jana Aston. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a not even 100-page, short, quick, and spicy romance book. This follows Holly Winters, whose boss is compared to Scrooge and is grumpy, and she kind of doesn't like him that much. And she even had made a advent calendar to count down to the days where she could finally go on Christmas break and not have to deal with him. But he's insisting she goes on a quick work trip with him. And while she's looking forward to Christmas break, not having to deal with him, she is now stuck with him for a little bit longer. But she starts to realize maybe he's not as terrible and Scroogey as she thought. And he's also hot, so that helps. So that's my little description for that. Again, quick, spicy, and just actually really good. Sometimes I don't love quick and spicy books, they just don't hit for me, but for some reason this one really hit when I read this. It's also a series, and I believe all of them are Christmas themed. I haven't read any of the other ones yet, but I've read this one and I actually did really enjoy it. Again, I don't always love the quick and spicy books. Sometimes I can be rather judgmental on them, but for this not even being 100 pages, I thought it was very enjoyable and still had enough storyline compared to Spice. The next book on my recommendation list is My December Darling by Lauren Asher. This is a standalone shorter book. It's just over 200 pages, which is definitely short for Lauren Asher because her books are pretty long. So we're following Catalina. Catalina, her sister is marrying her ex, but I say the term ex very loosely because I think she just went on a couple dates with him, and there's no hard feelings about this. So that's not really her problem with this wedding. Her problems are with the best man, Luke. Luke Darling may seem great and everybody loves him, but she refuses to date him. She is not planning on staying in Lake Wisteria, which is where they're at. She's planning on leaving, and she cannot get attached to him. He is just so charming, and she honestly doesn't like that. He's too charming, and she does not want to stay in Lake Wisteria. She plans on working at another hospital somewhere else. He's also a doctor, by the way, so they work in the same hospital. She kind of secretly likes him, but can't like him because she knows she could get attached to him.
I'm wearing teeth whitening strips, so don't mind my voice. Not to mention the groom is her ex, and he's the best friend of the groom, so technically he's the best friend of her ex, even though they barely dated, so that's also holding her back.
Again, I read this almost a year ago, so this may not be correct, but I feel like she just doesn't want to get attached to people, period. Don't remember if there's a reason, because again, I read this a year ago. She doesn't really want to get attached. Besides the fact that she's leaving, she doesn't really want to get in a relationship and get attached to someone. And this one, with the Christmassy parts, I thought this one had a lot of cute Christmassy moments and activities. My problem with some Christmas romances is that they'll either focus so heavily on the romance or so heavily on the Christmas, and I feel like this one did a good job of making it Christmassy but not leaving the romance behind in order to have the Christmas aspects, if that makes sense. Or I feel like some books are Christmas romances, but really they're just set around Christmas and they're not really doing any Christmassy activities. And I feel like this one did a good job of having Christmassy activities. The next book I have is Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I was surprised with how much I ended up liking this book, but it ended up being really good. So here's a little description. We have Clara. That's her. She works for a pretty large company that stole from a smaller company that's in a small town. They stole this idea of a doll from the smaller corporation. Not only that, but it's way worse. Theirs is in way better condition. Who made that doll and owns the smaller company? This guy, Jack. And there's this whole big controversy for her company because a woman in the small town that Jack is from made a video talking about how this bigger corporation stole his doll idea. Now, Clara is tasked to come to this town and smooth everything over and basically be the PR person. But the first time they meet, they don't know this about each other, so they connect instantly and they have a great time. The next time they meet, they find out who the other is, and he's please just leave town. I don't want any of your scams coming from your company. But she ends up coming to try to help not only that company come to some type of agreement, but also all the companies in this small town to make them more successful. So I thought this was really cute. I liked both of the characters and I liked them together. I loved the Christmassy aspects in this book. I thought it was incorporated so nicely. She planned all these Christmassy activities for people to come to the town, to come to all these companies and to, buy stuff. I thought all the activities were so fun. There was like a Santa run, there was a toy drive, and they built a snowman at one point. It was just all these fun Christmas activities while also still having a good amount of the couple and the romance. I just ended up really enjoying this. I do think it kind of got a little boring in the middle of the book, but otherwise I thought this was great. The next book I have is Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. This is the first book in the Love Light series where each book follows a different season, or not follows, but is based around a different season. This is the first book in the series, and it is based around winter, specifically our main character Stella, who owns a Christmas tree farm. Now, Stella is determined to keep this Christmas tree farm up and running as this is her dream, and she submits herself for this contest of a cute, romancy destination to come and visit. So when the people come for the contest, she decides to make it more authentic in the romantic sense by fake dating her best friend, Luca. Now, Luca goes along with this plan, and they fake date for the whole time that the lady's there, and obviously it's a fake dating romance, so obviously the faking starts to turn real. Now, the thing that's scary is they have been friends forever. They are best friends, so they're scared to, mess it up, even though they both like each other. I thought this one was so cute. I loved this small town. This whole series is really good. I love the little tree farm. I thought it was so cute, and all the little Christmassy aspects to spice up the place and to promote it more. Yeah, but I actually think I still gave this 4.25 stars. I actually think this is my least favorite in the series. This whole series is so good, and least favorite is not in a strong way. I really, really liked this book. Anyways, I'm now going to be moving on to the 2 5-star Christmas romance books, which is actually really hard for me because I am picky with Christmas romance books. They can easily put me into a slump, except this year. I feel like this year they've been hitting. Anyways, these two are in no particular order. This is Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. We are following Molly and Andrew. They originally met because her friend was dating him. Now, her friend then decided to go on another date while she was still dating him, and Molly was kind of like, what the actual heck? You're still dating Andrew, and she thought Andrew was really nice, and she was like, yeah, well, I'm kind of over him. So, awkwardly enough, she finds that out and then gets on a plane to go home to Dublin. Lo and behold, who's sitting next to her on the plane? No other than Andrew, who she knows her friend is cheating on, basically, and is about to get dumped. So on the flight, they're becoming more friends than when they originally met. But then he gets the news, I can't remember if it's from her or the girl texts him, that he's getting dumped and that she's dating someone else. Anyways, the next year they end up getting on a flight together again, just by coincidence, and they become friends, more so. So that second time he sees her, he actually ignores her first, and then they become friends, to my recollection. So every year for the past 10 years, they take a flight to Dublin together to head home for Christmas. Now, this is 10 years after their first encounter, so every year when they get on the flight, they catch up. It's just a great time, they both look forward to that every year, and it makes flights more tolerable. And let's see, it said it was, how long did it say the flight was? 7 hours and 15-minute long flight from Chicago to Dublin. Now, the story more so takes place 10 years later to when they are about to board. Wow, that's a lovely freeze frame of me. Anyways, I forgot to add that you do get flashbacks to most, if not all, of their past Christmases. Yeah, I just thought I'd add that in. Before the flight, a big snowstorm hits, and their flight gets delayed. Now, this doesn't really bother Molly that much because she likes Christmas, but she's not desperate to get home. While Andrew, on the other hand, is desperate to get home. He loves Christmas. He cannot wait to get home and celebrate. And Molly, loves him so much as a friend at this point, but we know it's more. She decides to do everything in her power to get Andrew home for Christmas. Obviously, since they can't get the flight, they have to go through all these different things. Molly is determined to get Andrew home for Christmas. And along the way, they're just trying to be friends, but really, they cannot resist the fact that they need to be more than friends. I loved this. I thought it was so cute. I read it a few years ago now, so all my thoughts are not exact, but I just remember loving this, and I loved the characters. I thought the storyline was really interesting, and I remember liking like all the stuff she did just to get him home. And it was super Christmassy, super cute. And the last book I have on this list is So This Is Christmas by Tracy Andreen. This is actually a YA romance. I think all these other ones were adult romances, but this one is a YA romance. And yes, I gave it 5 stars. YA I can be quite picky with, but this one was really good. Again, I did read this when I was like 17. I'm now 20, so I don't know if my thoughts would 100% be the same, but I just remember absolutely loving this and being obsessed. Okay, so Finley and Arthur both go to the same prep school. Now, Finley is coming home to her hometown called Christmas, and you may think, oh my god, this would be such a cute Christmassy town. You're wrong. It's kind of just a mediocre town. Now, color her shocked when her rival from school, when Arthur and his aunt show up to her town for Christmas because they believe it is a great destination for Christmas time. Why, you may ask? Because Finley set up this fake website to show off Christmas, and she more so did it to make friends at this prep school, but she made this fake website to show that Christmas was super cute and did all these fun things for Christmas. So Arthur came here because he heard her talking about her town she's from and saw this website and convinced his aunt that that's where they need to go for Christmas. So he shows up and he realizes that this website was not real and that this town was not real. I just realized this makes Finley sound pretty crazy. This is a little out there, but just hear me out. It's a good book. So he is wondering why she lied, and he's pissed because he convinced his aunt to spend their money to come here for Christmas. They go to some destination every Christmas, and this year he picked and he made this whole reason why they needed to go. So Arthur is reasonably pissed, and he tells Finley, I came here because of you. You are going to help me make this magical for my aunt. So now she is supposed to make this all-around perfect American Christmas for him and his aunt to experience. He's British, by the way. I felt like that needed to be said. When I said perfect American Christmas, he's British. That's why I said it like that. For Arthur and his aunt. But not only is she dealing with him, trying to make this Christmas perfect, but she has a lot of drama going on in her family life. I'm sorry for my dog. My mom just got home. I thought this was so cute and fun. They are of high school age and it is YA. Just letting you know if any of you were curious. If you don't like that, if you do like that. But this was so cute, even as somebody who can be picky with YA books.
I just want to add it before we moved on that the author of this book wrote for Hallmark and Hallmark movies, and I just thought that was a really cool fact. Anyways, now we can move on.
Hello, you may be wondering why I look 1, completely different, and 2, completely horrible. That is because I was editing this video and the outro clip just is not working, so I wanted to do that. But I also wanted to put another recommendation on this list because I just finished this book, and that is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I still have, look at this bookmark too. When I ordered this book off Pango Books, the person sent a bookmark and some stickers, and this bookmark is just so adorable. So you've probably heard of the movie / book A Christmas Carol, where Scrooge gets followed by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. Well, this kind of takes from that story. So Nolan is the ghost of Christmas past, and he has been doing this job of being the ghost of Christmas past for over 100 years. Now, for this job, he literally normally takes a week to go through the person's past, and then he hands them off to the ghost of Christmas present, and then that person hands it off to the ghost of Christmas future, and yada yada yada. Now, he's been doing this for 100 years and is honestly growing a little bit restless and tired of doing this for all these years and just not moving on to a different afterlife. Because when he's not doing that job, again, at most it takes him a week to go through somebody's past. He is just chilling, waiting till the next year to do his job once again. Now this year he gets assigned to Harriet. Something is weird and wrong about his assignment right away. She is not like all the other people he does this for. They're all like terrible people and just nasty, grumpy people. She is super sweet and bubbly and doesn't seem like she should be getting haunted. Like I said, after all these years, he's gotten restless doing this job, and honestly, he's become the grumpy one. And after going to her past multiple times, they have this theory that maybe he's not really supposed to be there for her. Maybe he showed up there so she could help him move on into the afterlife. So at first they're just going to her past, and more things unusual just keep happening. They start going to his past, his magic starts going wonky, and as a ghost, he can't feel things and he can't taste things. He'll still drink coffee and like eat and stuff, as he says, as that's a past habit from being human. He still does all that, but now he doesn't taste and he doesn't feel. So all of a sudden, while he's going to her past and hanging out with her, he starts being to taste a little bit. He can feel things. He's starting to feel cold, and everything is just going weird. So throughout this assignment, he clearly realizes something is different about this assignment. He doesn't understand why all of this is happening. Obviously, this has never happened to him before. And during this time, they start catching feelings, getting to know each other. And again, she thinks that now she's supposed to help him move on to the afterlife while he is still helping her. Now, this wasn't on purpose, but he does start like helping her with her confidence and speaking up for herself. And I really liked that. I really liked both of them. In the beginning, he could be a bit grumpy, but that was on purpose because he was supposed to be. That was like kind of a big part of the story. But I loved her. I felt like I related to her a lot, where like sometimes we just want to keep the peace and we don't ever want to say anything that's out of line or rude or hurt someone. Doesn't have the balls to like say stuff. Like, I really felt her. Also, another thing, the curly hair thing. She also has curly hair and was like kind of insecure about, well, hers was because of her mom. Mine was just because I get insecure about my curly hair. But I just like really liked her and I really related to her. And I love how he like tells her to be more confident and more like, you have to get what you want more. Like, you need to get what you ask for more. And I really liked that. I thought they were so sweet together. Again, she brought out like his happier side again as he was grumpy, going through the same thing over and over. He made her more confident and all. I just thought they worked so well together, and I loved this. I was obsessed. There's this one Hallmark movie called The Ghost of Christmas Always, and it kind of gave me similar vibes to this. Not the same, but similar. But it was so good. I totally recommend. I gave this 5 stars. I loved it. Oh, and now I have to do the outro because, like I said, the outro got deleted. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, subscribe, like this video, and comment down below your favorite Christmas holiday book and your favorite Christmas holiday movie. Comment this emoji if you made it this far, and I hope to see you in the next video.